Okay, we've been working with polynomials, and so far we've done addition, subtraction, and multiplication with polynomials. And now we're going to take a little look at division. Um, we start a little bit easier with a monomial term in the denominator, and we're going to look at the process of dividing this monomial up into this either binomial, or this is four-term polynomial. So one way to do this is think about this -7 has to divide into both of these terms up here. But to show that work, what you can do is you can write out -7x over -7, and then be careful here with the signs. We have a -7 and a -7, and then we can kind of think about right now a plus sign in between here, or we're going to need a sign in this final polynomial. But at this point we can simplify this fraction, and we have -7 divided by -7. Those can cancel out. We have x. Then here we have -7 divided by -7, which cancel out or give us 1. Something divided by itself is 1. So we end up with +1. We have to get that +1 in there to make this binomial or this polynomial. Okay. Next up, we can write this as 6x to the 5th over 2x squared minus x to the 3rd over 2x squared. We can just put all of our numerator terms over our denominator term since it's a monomial, and then we can simplify those individual pieces. Okay. So looking at the first one here, we can 2 divides into 6 3 times, so we have 3. Then using our exponent rules, we subtract. Here we have x to the 3rd. On this next one we have our minus sign because we have positive and negative, so it's going to be a negative. And all these x's on the bottom are going to cancel out, or use the subtraction method to get rid of those variables on the denominator. So we're left with 1x, or x the first, on top, and this 2, there's nothing to do with it, so we just leave it in the denominator. And then this one's a little, you have to be a little careful, but the kind of the rule of life here is something divided by itself is equal to 1, so we have +1. And then here we have this 2 divides into this 8, reduces it to 4, and so what we have left is a minus sign. Oh, and I almost wrote an 8. We have 4 over x squared. Nothing happens with the x on the bottom, so we have some things left in the denominators. We just kind of have to think about where things are left over. Okay. On this last one, we'll use the same process, being careful with our signs here. On this first fraction here, the x's will cancel out. You can draw a light line through them like this maybe. And then 2 goes into 6 3 times, and we have a negative, so we have a positive. And then here we have a double negative, so we know it's going to be positive. And I have a little mistake here, and there's no x there. So what I have left here is 2 on top, and since this x won't cancel out, you have x on the bottom. Okay, so be a little more careful than I was. I made a little mistake here, made a little mistake here, but just write down things accurately. And remember, you do sometimes have things left in the denominator. Just pick them away one piece at a time and simplify them. So that's monomial division. Next up we have this binomial division, which gets a little more complicated, and we have to stay pretty organized. Thanks.